All right, we're back with a UFC 249 podcast. I got Vianney in the house.
Going on, buddy?
And Eric. What's happening?
What's happening? It's finally good to have some fights, huh? Fight week's always exciting, right?
Dude, I was just talking to Vianney. It's like, I'm going to be devastated if they try to nix this thing, man.
I don't think so, because the governor's good with Dana, the mayor's good with Dana, and then, dude, Dana's on Trump's, team.
Yeah.
Start the business, you know?
Yeah, dude. I'm fired up.
It's in Florida. It's in the right state.
Yeah. Well, they're talking. He said that they got to get that fight island open pretty quick because they're going to start running out of American fighters because nobody can come in.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Well, they just rescheduled 251 in Australia, so they don't know when that one's going to happen yet.
Yeah, dude. Everything's wacky, man. It's so, dude, have you seen Tony Ferguson and Carlos Esparza take the test?
No.
That looks so uncomfortable.
Dude, it's hard to watch, man.
Yeah,
I showed my mom. I go, look, because my mom was gonna go take the test. I go, this is what they're gonna do to you. She's all, no.
Seriously, I was like, man, I don't want to take that test unless I absolutely have to, man. They shove that swab so deep up your nose, man. That looks painful.
I had one buddy that had to take the test because he's in the medical industry. So if he's already had it, they were gonna make him go to work. Like basically go help out these hospitals and stuff since
Jesus.
But he ended up he hadn't had it yet, so he can't go.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I'm fired up for this card. You know, usually my strategy on UFC fights is to not bet every single fight because that's definitely a way to lose. But this one, I'm fired up. I'm going to be firing at way too many fights on this one.
Yeah, no, I did. Dude, I just went through the card right now, and I knew who was fighting, but I had forgot that Cerrone and Pettis were fighting on it. Like, that's crazy. That could be a main event for, a Fox card, you know?
Oh, 100%. And I think I found what Dana's strategy is. I was looking at all these fighters. Only 3 of these people did not have finishes. So everybody else on the card, over 50% of their fights ended with finishes, whether they finish somebody or they get finished. So I think he's going for action and fireworks here with the way he lined everybody up.
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy, man. Even that fight, that Pettis and Cerrone fight, dude. It's weird because you don't know who you're gonna get. If you're gonna get Cowboy and Pettis sometimes doesn't even show up. You know what? Pettis' problem is he's good to quit fights. Oh, broke my rib. Oh, my hand's broken. I can't fight. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I was looking at Pettis. Dude, Pettis fights tough dudes. I mean, he has Nate Diaz, Stephen Thompson, Tony Ferguson, Chiesa, Poirier, Holloway, Olivier. Like, he fights, tough fighters, man. That's why he gets a lot of losses.
Yeah. No, he fights monsters, man.
Yeah, I was surprised when I was really studying his roster of fights that he's had, how many, badass, he goes to war with some people.
For sure.
Yeah, Pettis is tough, dude. I mean, dude, those guys are taking a lot of beatings. I think Cerrone's fighting too – I mean, he didn't really get knocked out against Conor, but, dude – That guy just, man, I don't know, man. I think he's already going downhill. You know what I mean? He's not going to get a belt. He's never won a belt.
I love Cerrone, but he's 37 and he has the most amount of wins, finishes, and fights in the UFC. He's just it's too far gone for him.
Yeah. And he's a mental midget, dude. Anything that the day before, he's like, oh, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to fight tomorrow, that I wasn't going to show up. It's like, oh, fuck. So I think he started seeing a sports psychologist too. But that's what these guys do when they lose 3 or 4 in a row. They say, oh, it can't be this. Oh, I got to go get my head checked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So what are we starting with? What's the first fight of the night?
I think it's Sam Alvey and Ryan Spann.
That's what I got. Sam Alvey and Ryan Spann.
Yeah, okay. I don't dude. I think Alvey's a rap too, man. And he doesn't do shit, and he doesn't know. All he does is sit back and wait for that big right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he gets floored.
Yeah, he's minus Ryan Spann's minus 410, Alvey's plus 310 take back, and then the over under on that one is 1.5. The under is plus 105.
So I picked Brian's. I did not look at the odds for any of these fights. I took Spann. I mean, Salvy's on a 3-fight lose streak. I don't really know anything about these fighters, but it does look like Alvey's on his way out the door.
Yeah.
I think Spann was on damn, Spann's been here for a minute. Jesus.
He's on a hot streak. Spann is.
Yeah. Dude, he's fought a lot. Dude, he's been fighting since fucking 14. I didn't even know he fought. He's been fighting that long. He's probably been getting hurt or something.
Yeah. So you guys are both on
weird.
and what about the over-under? Over or under 1.5 rounds? What do you guys think?
Under.
You're gonna go for the under. I think. Let me see here. I think you know what? I think it'll go over 1.5. I think it'll go. Oh no. I mean, I think it's gonna go under 1.5 as well.
So both on under, both on the favorite.
Yeah. You know, and Albie's like, dude, and the thing is too, Albie's had no place to train really, and he's been training with his wife.
Oh boy.
You know what I mean?
That's always good.
Yeah, it's always fantastic. I love when they do that. That's my favorite thing, dude. Jesus Christ.
Who do you have, Vin, on that fight?
I probably won't. I won't. If I'm betting, I'm not going to bet minus 410. So I'd probably just go with the under. I like that.
I mean, I'm not betting minus 4. I'm not betting minus 400 on an early prelim fight either.
For sure.
Yeah. These are good. Like these kind of fights are really, they're good for DraftKings. When I play DraftKings, they're good for those because people don't like to pick the curtain. The curtain, you know what I mean? The first, what do you say? The fucking curtain yanker. They don't like to bet it. If this is actually, and it's you, Sam Alvey, dude, and you know that guy's, I don't know. But for DraftKings, it always, because nobody will pick this fight.
Well, this looks like a good one for draft because DraftKings, you don't get knocked if it's a favorite or not, right? It doesn't matter. Like you're just picking win and loss and how they're going to win, right?
Yeah. And then Span will be the most expensive guy on the card.
Oh, so it does. Okay.
Yeah, because of the salary. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So we have Bryce Mitchell and Rosa next.
All right, we got Bryce Mitchell's minus 160, Rosa plus 130. Over under is 2.5 rounds, and the over on this one's minus 220. So basically, they're telling you there's no way it goes under. But what do you guys think?
I think it's gonna go over, and I think Bryce Mitchell's a tough dude, man. He's one of the only 2 guys that ever pull off a twister. You know what I mean? And you know how he learned to twist. Yeah, he learned the twister watching Eddie Bravo's videos.
Really?
On the YouTube. Yeah, that's how he did it. And he's funny though, because when you see Bryce Mitchell, when you see him, like when you hear him talk, he's like a hick, right? He's like a complete country boy.
I know who this guy is now.
And he talks and he goes, well, you know, he talks really nice. He says some crazy shit. He's like, well, you know, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna try my finest and stuff. And then I met the guy and he's a really nice dude. But then when I look online, he's talking a bunch of shit. So now I'm really going to have to snap his fucking neck.
Dude, and he's undefeated. I mean, he hasn't lost a fight yet. He's 12-0, I think.
Bryce Mitchell is?
Yeah.
All right. So, Eric, you're on Bryce in the over. What about you, Kyle?
Yeah, I'm on Bryce as well. I don't know anything about Bryce or Rosa, but I do know now. I do recognize. I did watch that highlight of him doing that twister. I know who he is. I mean, if he's pulling a twister off in a fight, he's fucking his jiu-jitsu game's elite.
Yeah.
And he's the only guy that his coach just trained. His coach doesn't train anybody else. They just train him. Yeah, crazy. What's the next fight? What's Vicente Luque and Nico Price?
Yeah.
Who do you got?
We got Luque minus 290, Price plus 230. Over under is 1.5, and it's even. So this one they don't know if it's going over or under.
Again, I don't know these guys very well, but man, Luque has some tough. He just beat Mike Perry. I would go without knowing anything. I'd go with that. I do see that Luque lost to Nico Price in 2017, but Mike Perry's a tough. That's not an easy win. So I give it to Luque here.
Yeah, Eric.
I'm taking Luque, and I think Luque knocks Nico Price out in the first round.
Oh, so you're taking under 1.5.
Yeah. Nico Price, dude, if he comes out like a bat out of hell, but he gets knocked out a lot. I mean, he gets beat up, dude. And Luque, I think Nico, who did Nico Price? Nico won, he beat James Vick, but who doesn't fucking beat James Vick?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm not that impressed with James Vick. He beat Tim Means in 2009, but Tim Means is pretty old at that point. He beat Alan Jaban. He has a couple, names on his resume, but
yeah. But he beat James Vick with an up kick, and I took Vick on that. Remember, he was on the ground and he kicked it. Just all he did was he kicked him, and Vick just went out. But Vick's done too.
Yeah.
Right, next up is Ronald Sacare Souza versus Uriah Hall, minus 125, minus 105. And the total on this one is, where'd it go? 2.5 rounds even.
Huh.
Wow.
I like Jacare in this one. This could go either way because you see, well, Jacare is also 40 years old, dude, and he's 41, and he's been training using his like wife's dumbbells because they don't have ATTs not open or whatever he's at in Florida. But Uriah Hall moved into like his gym and just lives there and just trains there with no sparring partners, I think. But Uriah Hall is also a head case, so I'm gonna have to go with Jacare, and I'll take Jacare by like submission.
Yeah.
Under.
What round? Under. Okay. How about you, Kyle?
You know, I really had this one as a toss-up. I think that both these guys are getting older. I mean, Uriah is 35 now. Jacare is 40. Jacare's 2-4 in his last 6 fights. I'm going with Uriah Hall. I don't love it, but I'm going to go with Uriah Hall in the over.
So far, this looks like the most even matchup out of all of them.
Yeah. Neither of these guys are – but see, again, we're talking about Uriah Hall is 15-9 with 12 finishes, all wins. I mean, these guys, he's putting up guys that are going to –
Yeah, they're going to scrap.
Yeah, see, he's like a Donald Cerrone to me. Like, you don't know who's going to show up, dude. Is Uriah Hall going to show up? He's a head case, too. He's got problems, dude. He don't even like talking to the press because he takes everything. He's very sensitive, dude. Like, anything you say about him, he cries and he fucking moans and cries.
All right, next up, we got the chicks. Carla Esparza, minus 155 versus Michelle Watterson, plus 125. Over-under is 2.5 rounds. Over is minus 490. So this one couldn't go under if both of them broke their ankle. What do you guys like?
Dude, I think this is a terrible – I think Michelle Watterson made a big mistake taking this fight because Michelle Watterson, she just looks for the high kicks. And when she's going to do the high kick, Carla Esparza is just going to take her down and take her down and take her down. And it's going to go the distance. I'm taking Carla Esparza by decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with the over here. I think this is also a close matchup. You brought up a good point. I think the styles don't really match very well for this fight. I'm going with Watterson. I think she's been in a lot more big fights and has been in the mix a little bit more. I wasn't too impressed with the fights I have seen. I haven't seen every Esparza fight, but I haven't been too impressed with her. I'm going to go with Watterson, but I can see this going either way.
I'm going Watterson just because she's hotter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's hot. You know what I hate about Watterson is that she's always like, dude, just be hot and be a fighter. I don't want to see your husband. I don't want to see your kid. You know what I mean? Just be a fighter. Be a hot fighter. You know, every time I see her, I'm like, damn, she's banging. And then she goes, here's my daughter. You're like, and this is my great husband. And her husband trains her and corners her.
Yeah. The husband's always around.
You know, I guarantee you that's why she's not more popular, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's her nickname?
The Karate Hottie.
Yeah.
Karate Hottie. What a
Karate Hottie.
You know, the reason I started being a fan of her, she was on The Challenge, that show all that ridiculous show we watch on MTV.
Oh,
she
yeah.
was on Celebrity Edition.
Dude, that bums me out, dude. Like when you see a hot fighter, like and then you're like, here's my boyfriend. You're like, like it kills your fantasy, that whatever weird fantasy.
What did you say the odds were on Esparza, V?
Oh, it was Esparza was minus 155, Watterson plus 125.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I think we're both good. But no, I would take the Karate Hottie either way, you know. Next up, we're moving on to heavyweights. Verdum versus Olenek. Minus 320, plus 250 for Olenek. Hope I'm saying that right. And the over-under is 1.5 standard. You know, minus 120, minus 110. What do you got?
I think Verdum's gonna. Dude, this is a weird one. I think Verdum's gonna stop. What is the rounds?
1.5.
I think it goes over, and I think Fabricio is gonna win by punches. He's gonna hurt him, and he's gonna just knock him. The doctor's gonna stop it. The referee's gonna stop it by TKO.
So these guys are old, man. Both 42 years old, still going down. Dude, check out this. Olenek's record in MMA is 58-13. There's not many people that are up in that many fights. That's wild.
That is wild.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Brazilian here versus the old white European. in this
pretty
one.
safe normally.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm going to go with Verdum.
yeah. You know what the deal is with this one too is that everybody that Ali, whatever his last name, Alexi, everybody that he beats isn't really that good of a jiu-jitsu player, and
Yeah.
Verdum's like a high level black belt, so I don't think he's gonna get caught in that fucking Ezekiel choke that this guy pulls off on everybody.
Yeah.
What did you say the over-under odds were?
1.5. So this one is a little bit off. It's minus 120 for the over, minus 110 for the under.
I really like the over on this. I don't think these two old dudes have it in them to knock anybody out.
Yeah, I think Eric's right. If it is, it's going to be a late stoppage. Just if that happens. But
They're going to be tired.
Definitely not a knockout.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We got some more heavyweights. Greg Hardy minus 200. Yorgan De Castro plus 160.
Skip the main event of the prelim card.
Oh shoot, let me see.
Cerrone Pettis.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, they how they have it set up over here. They skipped it. All right, here we go. Anthony Pettis minus 140. Cerrone plus 110. And the over-under is 2.5. Here's an interesting one. If you want to take over, it's plus 105. So they basically want you to take over.
Minus 1.5 at 105?
2.5, I think. Let me see. 2.5.
Wow.
Yep. And then the line was Pettis minus 140. Cerrone on the takeback plus 110.
Dude, I think I'm taking the over, and I'm taking Pettis because I think they both need to win this fight, dude. Cerrone dearly needs to win this fight, and Pettis needs to win this fight, like, because you know what I mean. Pettis is. Yeah. Did he win? Who did he fight last? Was it Nate Diaz or no?
Pettis.
It was Ferguson.
Ferguson.
No, he fought Diego Ferreira.
Yeah, Diego Ferreira, Nate Diaz, and he lost. He's on back-to-back losses.
Yeah. Wait, didn't he lose to Ferguson? Didn't we
4
say
fights
that?
ago.
Yeah.
4 fights ago? Jeez.
That's when he broke his hand. That's when he said he goes, my hand's broken. And Duke Rookfist was like, well, if your hand's broken, I can't let you go out there and fight with one hand because you're not fighting at full potential. He goes, so, hey, son, I'm going to have to stop the fight. But he knows his fighter, so he knows that his fighter didn't want to go out there because he was getting his ass fucking worked.
So you're taking Pettis to the over, Eric?
Yeah.
And what do you
Man,
think?
I hate that we're agreeing on a lot of these fights, but I like Pettis as well. I just feel I love Donald Cerrone, and I want Donald Cerrone to win this fight, but he's on a 3-fight losing streak. He's 37 years old. He has a million fights under his belt.
Yeah.
And I just don't think I think Pettis needs a win. Pettis is younger, 33. Pettis needs this win. Like you said, both of them need it, but Pettis is too young to start hitting the big losing streak like this.
Yeah, I like Pettis to the under. I would take the under, I think.
Yeah. I could see that. I could see, and what's Cerrone's biggest one of his biggest things that if he gets ticks, he can't take a body kick. Anything to the body, Cerrone just folds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, I just think, I think if he's going to beat him, he's probably going to try to get him out of there.
Yeah.
Pettis does gas kind of late, though. You know what I mean? Like, he does look pretty.
I could see them being super cautious, and everybody thinks, oh, this is a great fight, but I can see them being super cautious and maybe just a lot of against the cage shit, and then it just goes to decision. It's kind of, and everybody's like bummed out. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, I thought they were going to go at it, but they just sat there and fucking rolled around.
Yeah. Next up, we got the first fight of the main card. We got Greg Hardy minus 200, De Castro plus 160. And the total on this one is 1.5. Under is plus 130. Over is minus 160.
Dude, this guy Yorgan De Castro, he's the one that fought that Justin Tafa, and he fought in the Contender Series. I haven't. You can't see much of these fights because you don't. There's not so much to watch about him, a lot of film on him or anything, but. I'm just gonna go with Hardy. I think the UFC's been pushing Hardy like down our throats.
I think Dana loves Hardy. Dude.
I don't know why. I mean, he maybe because he's big and he used to play.
He got a name. He played in the NFL. He likes that shit.
Yeah, maybe something must have happened. That's what everybody keeps on saying. Like Hardy must have like some dirty pictures of Dana doing some shit.
I think that's the thing. Like, see, you're an MMA fan, so that's what. But we're like all around fans. Let's say. Yeah. So we've known Hardy. He was a good football player. You know what I mean? He just kicked out of the league because he was a bad guy. You know. So a lot of people have been knocking Dana for that, like bringing him in because he's. I think he's got what did he get? Assault on his wife or something?
Domestic violence charge.
I don't think he got charged with it though. I think or no, his wife dropped the charges
That's
or
what
something.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Kyle?
You know what? So yeah, I haven't seen Yorgan De Castro. I looked him up. I was looking at his numbers up at Sheerdog. He's 6-0 with 5 knockouts. I'm gonna go with Yorgan. I like Yorgan here with the upset. I mean, Hardy. I was looking at Hardy. He doesn't really have anything impressive on his resume. He only has 5 fights. He won.
The last fight he was very unimpressive. I thought he could have even lost it.
Yeah, I was not. Well, he did lose his last fight to Volkov. Then he had
the one before that. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. And then he got caught using his inhaler in between rounds.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Funny dude.
So I don't know. I just don't have any faith in Hardy. I'm gonna go with this kid that's got 6-0 with 5 knockouts.
Yeah, getting a price, dude.
And I like the. I'm looking for dogs in these fights, and at plus 160, I like him even more.
Yeah, and then what about the over/under? You gonna take the under for plus 130?
I have a hard time taking the under in these 3-round fights.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's tough, man. A round and a half, because like you said, they could spend a whole round feeling each other out, and then get started in the second round, and then you only have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to get your under in. It's tough.
Dude, I think this is gonna be the most boring fight on the card. I think they're just gonna hug each other against the cage, and they're gonna gas both of them in the second round because Hardy has no gas tank, dude.
Yeah, he's known for not really having.
And we're talking Hardy with a camp. We don't know where these people are training because they have nobody's sparring really. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, dude, and no fans anywhere. Everything that's gonna be so weird, man. You know,
it's gonna be a trip, man.
It's gonna be like you ever watch The Ultimate Fighter? When they fight, it's gonna be like that, where you just hear every time they make contact, you just hear that slap.
I like that. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Did you see that? Cormier was talking about how it's Cormier, John Anik, and Joe Rogan that are doing the broadcast team. They're gonna have Daniel Cormier is gonna be on one side of the octagon, and Joe Rogan's gonna be on the other side of the octagon, and John Anik's gonna be on one side of the octagon. They're all gonna be apart. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Have everybody in the same spot. Why do the announcers have to be so far apart?
I don't know.
Have a little something in between or something. I was listening today, or I saw a tweet from Sergio. I always want to call him Sergio Martinez, but Sergio Mora. You know how he does the announcing for that. They were talking about maybe doing like calling it from home. Like how they're doing the Korean baseball.
Oh, that's terrible.
And he said that's a terrible idea because he said watching a fight in person is completely different than watching it,
Yeah, and then they're going to have – I wonder how they're going to have the judges. Are the judges going to be – huh?
They'll probably be separated the same way as if they're having the guys announce it there, they'll have the judges.
But, I mean, I wonder – that's what Cormier said that was going to happen, but I wonder if they're going to move it now because of all the testing. Dude, you can't have it if you're in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Put them next to each other. Who cares? You're doing all the testing. Why can't they just be next to each other? It doesn't make any sense.
Dana White pulled some boss-ass shit, though. He's like, when they asked him, when they were going to do the fight on the Indian reservation, Rogan was like, I'm not doing it. And then Dana White's like, Joe Rogan will be there. Joe Rogan will be there. Yeah. And he's like, and then Rogan's like, hey, I heard they were talking to Rogan on his podcast. They're like, hey, I guess you're going to be there. And he goes, fuck, I guess I am. Dana says I am. He hasn't even talked to me.
That's funny, man.
Funny, dude.
All right, boys. Next up, Calvin Kattar minus 245 versus Jeremy Stevens plus 195. Over under 2.5 minus 180 over.
I'm going. You know what, dude? Jeremy Stevens hasn't been looking good at all. His last 3 fights, he looks like dog shit, dude. So I'm gonna go with Katter. I think Katter's like an up and comer, and he's won a bunch of his last fights here. I think he's won. Let me see.
He just lost to.
He lost as a beat, but Jeremy Stevens
is tough, dude. The beat's good.
Yeah, Jeremy lost as a beat as well, and then he beat Ricardo Lamas, Chris. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Calvin Carter, whatever.
What about over or under?
I'm gonna go over.
Yeah, I would go over too. I was really surprised though that Calvin Carter was minus 245. I thought this might be
bucket a quarter or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
and
you gotta go Stevens in. Huh?
You're going Stevens,
Kyle? No, I'm saying with the price. I mean, the price is right for for Stevens, but
I don't love it. I just don't love this fight. This next one I have circled. This is the one I want to know what the odds are.
All right, here we go. Moving on. Francis Ngannou versus Jair. Minus 270 for Ngannou.
Yes.
And over-under is 1.5, 115 either way. What do you think, Al?
What's Roznik's odds?
Plus 220.
Love it. Take Roznik to the bank. Take him by knockout if you can.
Nice. Wait. Over or under the 1.5? That's what.
It doesn't matter. Just take him by knockout.
Got it.
This guy, his silly power. I mean, I was watching the highlights of his knockouts, which has he has 9 knockouts in his 10 fights.
Ooh.
And his power, you just don't think the way he catches people. You don't think they're not big power shots. He just has power in his punches, and when they connect, they put people down. I love him as the underdog in this fight.
Eric,
I'm taking Francis first round knockout.
Nice.
Yeah, I think Francis knocks him out in the first round. I think Jairzinho, I think he's good, but I mean, Overeem was beating him until Overeem's lip fell off. You know what I mean?
No, when you watch that Overeem knockout, he didn't tag him like crazy. He just caught him with some power and put him out.
Well, he didn't put him out. He just they stopped the fight because of his lip. Remember?
Yeah, he was bleeding. But he was also lost. He didn't know. He got up. He wasn't even trying to fight anymore.
But they weren't even really looking at him being knocked out. They were looking at his lip was freaking done, dude. It was the grossest thing.
I can't remember. Somebody took a bad beat. Somebody had, I think it might have been one of the Ramirez had Overeem that fight.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's a tough way to lose, dude.
So here's another crazy thing. Francis, his only decision fights have been losses. His two of his 3 losses. He doesn't go to decision. And this other guy has 9 knockouts in his 10 fights. This should be, if this one is a letdown, this fight's cursed.
Dude, remember when Derek Lewis, they just sat there staring at each other?
Oh, dude, that was such a weird fight.
Derek Lewis says that his back was jacked up and he wasn't even going to take the fight, but he took it. But that was the worst fight in the history of the MMA.
That was bad, dude.
Yeah. And then remember, everybody thought Francis was just like, oh, Francis is going to starch him. And then like.
Well, I think Francis, if I remember correctly, he was coming off a big win before Lewis, right?
Yeah. He had just beaten, or maybe he just lost to Stipe or something.
Was it? Or, yeah. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he had lost to Stipe, but then he beat Overeem. Remember, he knocked Overeem into tomorrow?
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, my buddy.
Plus 220.
Say what?
Plus 220, man. I'm fine. Those are the odds that I've been looking for on this card.
Yeah, so far that you like him and Jorgen.
Those are my 2 dogs that I like.
That's a two-team parlay right there.
Let's go.
Dude, my buddy was at that All-Star Overeem fight with Francis, and he says that when those guys get into the octagon, they look just so much bigger than everybody in the world, dude. Like he says that, and you could hear the stomping and the cage like moves when they get against the cage. I said it was brutal. He goes, dude, imagine being that big and taking all that punishment, man, from each other. Fuck that.
Dude, Francis has been working out at home, posting all these videos on Instagram. He's been getting after it, man.
He's yoked, dude.
He's always for sure.
He's always in shape, but you know what I mean? He could still gas, you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah. Oh, he's a gas machine. Yeah, he doesn't have any cardio either.
If you're picking this based on the way these two look, you're not picking Rosenstruck.
No.
That's definitely not gonna happen.
All right, so the co-main is Cejudo Cruz, right?
This is for the belt.
Yeah, for the belt. This one's Cejudo minus 220, Cruz plus 180, and the over/under on this one is 4.5, 5-round championship fight. Minus 200 on the over.
I'm gonna take.
You gonna take your first dog here?
Huh?
You take your first dog finally?
No, maybe. I don't know, dude. Here's the problem. The problem is Cejudo's gonna be way faster, and he's been fighting. He's been fighting a lot. Not a lot, but he's fought a couple times. Dominic Cruz has been out for how long?
3.5. Dominic Cruz has not fought in 3.5 years. Back when Cody Garbrandt whooped his ass.
Wow.
Right.
He's not fought since then. So he went from that championship fight 3.5 years ago, getting his ass whooped, to another championship fight against somebody who's been way more active. I think this is the most boring fight on the card. I say it's over. I say Cejudo's gonna win, and you're not gonna be impressed. And it's just a lame duck fight right here. I can't believe.
Aren't you a little surprised at the price being only minus 220? Like, if you told me a guy hasn't fought in 3.5 years and got starched last time he was up, I would think he's like minus 500. You know?
Yeah.
I don't think that anybody believes that Cejudo has a lot of power.
I think people don't like Cejudo.
I hate Cejudo. Cejudo's too cheesy. Like, he's faking his shtick. Like, I thought his shtick was real, but like he's just like he's wannabe WWE wrestler. He's just like clowning it up. It's too obvious.
Yeah.
Did you hear? I heard the call between them this morning. The press call between Cejudo and Dominic Cruz, and then Cejudo kept on going, "Hey Dominique," he kept on calling him Dominique, and are you gonna break a nail? And you're not gonna make the fight because you're gonna break a nail. And then Dominic Cruz, like, he went on some fucking tangent, bro. He was talking about, you're out there, you don't have no purpose. You have a championship belt and you're not using it for good. He's all, there's people that are in their houses, and he started going about the coronavirus. Dominic Cruz.
Fuck.
Yeah, then Cejudo goes, dude, you sound like you're trying to win Miss Universe right now.
Nice.
And then, but I'm gonna go with Dominic. I'm pretty sure Cejudo's gonna win, but I'm gonna go with Dominic Cruz, dude. I don't think Cejudo's gonna. If Cejudo can't catch him, because Dominic Cruz's style of fighting is so weird, and he does all these weird moves. That's why he fucking tears everything. It's all awkward, and you know what I mean. But I'm just gonna say, I don't know. I'll say Cruz wins by fucking decision. Fuck it. Cruz is gonna win by decision. Just he's been in the, he's had a lot more fights than Cejudo, I think.
Yeah.
And if Cejudo can't catch him and get his hands on him, dude, he's gonna be in trouble, I think. But who knows, dude? It could be. You know what it could be too? It could be that Dominic Cruz rips his fucking ACL again in the third round or something. He can't go out.
Both of Henry Cejudo's 15-2. Dominic Cruz is 22-2.
Yeah. But where Cejudo fought? I mean, he has fought in
Dude, who's the last guy that took 3 years off and came back? Wasn't it
his resume? Cejudo's resume is lame.
Yeah. Who was the last kid that took all that time off? Wasn't it? What's that kid? That local kid, the Northern California white boy, big chin, good hair.
Oh, Uriah
Askren?
Faber.
Yeah, didn't Uriah Faber take like 5 years off and come back and get him dubbed?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they gave him just a freebie because him and Dana are boys.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah,
this isn't a freebie fighting the champ. So
he did beat. I mean, Cejudo did beat Demetrius Johnson.
But I think it was a split decision. You remember that fight? I did not think that he won that fight.
I went to that fight. I was at that fight. It was I didn't think I had Cejudo on DraftKings and he won me a bunch of money, but then I thought Demetrius might have won that fight.
So did I. I mean, I thought that Demetrius won that fight. Then he beat. I mean, his most impressive win was TJ Dillashaw. But I mean, I don't know. TJ.
Well, Dillashaw was also dropped. He looked terrible, and he was on EOP or whatever it's called. Yeah. He was on all that stuff, dude. But he beat Sergio Pettis. Like, who doesn't beat Sergio Pettis? That's why he's in Bellator.
Marlon Moraes. They were trying to hype him up, and they gave him a chance. I was like, I never heard of this guy before he got a championship fight.
Nah, I heard of him. He fought a couple other good guys, but then Pedro Munoz, I think he beat. But they called that's a gay name, Marlon the Magician or whatever. Moraes, give me a fucking break, dude.
Yeah, I'm not impressed with Cejudo, but I think Dominic Cruz is too much time off and too old.
Yeah. All right, main event. We should be watching Khabib versus Ferguson here, but that fight will never happen. So we're getting Ferguson Gaeth. Ferguson minus 175. Over under is 2.5 rounds. Under is minus 130.
Dude, I'm gonna go Tony Ferguson. Wait, what did you say the under was?
2.5 rounds.
I'm gonna go Tony Ferguson over, and Tony Ferguson and the over, and I think they're gonna stop it from cuts.
All right, there you go.
I got Tony in the under as well. Tony's on a 12-fight win streak. Justin Gaethje, I mean, I like him, but he just doesn't have as impressive record. I mean, him beating Cerrone in the last fight, Cerrone looked like shit. That was not impressive at all.
Yeah.
Edson Barboza, not that big a deal to me. James Vick, we already talked about him. His toughest fight was Dustin Poirier, and he got knocked out. I don't think he's ready to handle somebody at Ferguson's level. I mean, Ferguson's beat Cerrone, Pettis, Lee, Dos Anjos. all on a 12 win, and 20 of his win. Ferguson's 25-3 with 20 wins on by submission or knockout.
Yeah, I think he's pretty underrated, really, right? Would you agree? Like,
you know, I still talk about Ferguson being one of the greatest fighters that he is for what he's done.
Yeah,
I think you know why? Because Tony doesn't fight that often. If he fought more,
he does take some time off though.
Yeah, he takes time off, and then
he's had bad luck.
That guy has, dude. You know, nobody has. Yeah, that's what Dana White was saying. Dominic Cruz is a great guy, and I love him, but he might have the worst luck in the world. He goes next to fucking Tony Ferguson. But dude, yeah, I think Ferguson. Yeah, I took Ferguson in the over. You took the under.
Yeah, I went under.
What do you think, Vinny?
You know, Ramirez was trying to talk me into to Justin. He said his boy another MMA genius, said he likes Justin. And then we didn't even know the price at that time. So when he saw that, it was a plus. So I don't know. I don't think I've ever bet on Ferguson. So I'd probably take Ferguson this time. I'll try to push him.
I don't like 175. You know, I'm not looking to bet on that. I'd rather him be a dog, but I really think he has this fight. I really think he's just that much better fighter than Gaethje.
Who's your guy?
Go ahead. What about Ferguson does get hit a lot though.
Yeah,
he does get hit a lot. You remember when he fought Lando Vannata and he got rocked, like, and Lando Vannata had like a day to get that fight. But I think Ferguson is going to be, dude. Ferguson has been his cardio is ridiculous, you know. And the scary thing is we don't know. Gaethje's like a really, really good wrestler, and he never wrestles. He goes out there to bang. And if this goes to the ground, dude, and Tony's on his back, he has so many weird like submissions. I don't think Gaethje's ready for that shit, but I don't think it's even going to go there. It might not even get out of the first round, but dude, and that's what's scary about fighting. Like, dude, that's what a scary thing would be if Ferguson fought Khabib. If Khabib takes him down, Ferguson has nasty elbows from the bottom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they were trying to tell Khabib when the fight was going to happen. I heard some guys on these chat rooms and shit on the YouTube or whatever. And they're like, dude, if Khabib cuts his hair super short, like, right, and Ferguson elbows him in the head, that guy's gonna bleed like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That blood's gonna be everywhere, dude. So they were telling Khabib should grow out his hair and shit, so it wouldn't, so the blood wouldn't be splattering everywhere. It's funny.
Yeah. Who's your guys' play of the night? If you had to play one fight, who do you got?
If I'm taking one fight, I'm taking Rostrud. He's got 9 KOs out of 10. He's fought 4 times. This guy fought 4 times in 2019. He's fucking ready to go. Francis, I'm just not that impressed. Francis looks impressive when you just look at him, but I just don't think he's as talented as everybody wants him to be.
Cuban?
I'm gonna go fucking Ferguson, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Tony. I don't think, dude, he's more dynamic, you know what I mean? He can bars. He has all these weird, and he trains. And Eddie Bravo's his jiu-jitsu coach. They do all that 10th Planet shit. It's weird.
Yeah. What are you doing for your DraftKings? Do you have to pick every fight for your DraftKings, or is it a couple of them? Or
no, you have 6 spots. So I have my let me see who I took. You have 6 spots, but you gotta deal with the the under the salary cap. So like for DraftKings, what I had let me see. I'll tell you right now. Where are we at?
Vinny, who's your pick of the night?
I'm looking. You might have talked me into what? No, you know what? Watterson plus 125.
Watterson plus 125.
Yeah, I think that's what I want a dog.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I mean, that's why I like Yoshi. I mean, at plus 220, it's the best. I think he's the best dog that has a chance. You have to find a dog on the main card.
Yeah.
Every UFC fight on the main card, a dog will win. Usually in the last 3 fights, usually.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If there's 8 fights, let's say, there's normally 3 or 4 dogs. Like, let's say how many, 11 fights. You'll normally find 3 to 4 dogs that win outright.
Yeah. But there's always one on the main card, on that final card.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, Gaethje's a pretty big dog, isn't he? Or no?
Plus 145.
Yeah, on DraftKings, he's like his price is only $7,500, which means the highest guy on this fight card is Span, and he's 9,300.
Okay, he's minus 410. All right, who's the second one? Who's the second?
Verdum.
Really? Oh yeah,
Wow. I don't love that. I don't love Verdum. I would not spend my money on Verdum.
No, I know, but what's weird is that this they put out the DraftKings because since there wasn't any betting going on, they put this lineup out. They released the salaries like a week ago.
Who's the next? Ngannou?
No, Luque.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Catter. I would put Catter on there. He
And then Catter's right under him.
Yeah.
And then Francis Ngannou's under him.
So okay, the biggest dog on the board is
Alvey,
right?
Yeah.
So how much does Alvey cost?
$6,900.
Doesn't sound like that much of a deal, right? You said, okay, I get it. Yeah. Who would you take on yours, on Kyle?
Well, with the salary cap, obviously I'm getting a deal on Roshnik.
Yeah.
Catter, I'm getting
71. He's 7,100.
And then Catter, I like him, and he's halfway down the list. I think that's a good price. I would look at Anthony Pettis, and then spend some money maybe on Ferguson.
Yeah, I would try to build it around all the minus 120s, minus 140 guys that we like.
Yeah, exactly.
But you also get points for picking by decision or by knockout or Eric?
No.
Oh, not on this one?
No, you just get points. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you get points. So if he has 5 takedowns, takedowns are 5 points. So you want somebody that's going to be like, you want a Henry Cejudo. He'll score high because he's going to always go for the takedown.
But what about a guy that gets a knockout? Doesn't he get more points or anything?
Yeah, you get more points depending on it's only the round and if it's a knockout.
Got it.
Yeah. So if it's actually, it doesn't even matter if it's a knockout. If you just win, like in the first round, if you win in the first round, you get like 90 points.
Oh, okay.
And then if you win in the second round, you get 80 points. In the third round, 70 points or 40 points or something like that.
We might be getting an account this weekend, Kyle.
Yeah. I might have to. I have money. One of my clients, he ropes me in to play DraftKings on during football season, even though I hate it. And I actually won a couple times. So I got some money in my DraftKings account. I'm going to try to build one right now.
What do you play? Play a couple tournaments, Eric, or how do you do? How you run?
Yeah, I'm in that. I got those guys. I'm in that league with those guys. So I have like 7 guys that I'm in a league with. But then there's also there's like a big contest. Let me see what the biggest contest is.
Yeah, that's the way I like to play it for football. Is he just invites people into a group? And it's like a poker tournament. All the money.
Yeah, that's what we do.
And he splits.
Cool.
Dude, they have $1 million contest this week.
What's the entry? $20?
$20, and then the payout is what goes to first. $200,000 to first place.
That'll work right now. That'll work.
Yeah, that'll.
Dude, yeah, that'll work, dude. The weird thing about it is like, dude, you're like, okay, I got the perfect lineup. All my guys win, but then like you'll pick like just say you picked Rosenstrike, whatever, and he was 7,200, but then there's no like they play against they wrestle against the cage the whole time, so he only gets like 40 points. Meanwhile, then Esparza will go out there and have 20 takedowns and then go to decision and have 135 points. Dude, one of the fights, I think the fight, what was it? It was who was the guy? I think it was Derek something, whoever it was. But dude, he had like 25 or like 20 takedowns in one fight, and dude, his DraftKings score was like 190.
Nice.
So like you could have had some shitty other guys, and 3 guys you would have lost, and you would have picked him, and you had a couple.
Because we play fantasy football, so it's kind of the same. Your quarterback goes, you know what I mean? So
I see.
But it's funny though, because then like you'll have like guys like Dominic Cruz he doesn't really score high, so like it's hard to pick him. Even he's so cheap, you always want to get 10 times. So if 10 times what it is. So if he's 7,200, you think, okay, if I get more than 72 points, I'm good. 10, everything tenfold. So like a guy like you wouldn't want to pick, dude. If you pick, for instance, who is the guy Span? Mm-hmm. If you pick him and he costs $9,300. He takes up all your money, and then he goes out there and only scores 50 points. You're fucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you're fucked. You're absolutely. So you got to think that when you're playing DraftKings in the big tournaments, dude, you want somebody you think that you got to pick the guys that you think are going to go tenfold. You know what I'm saying? So you want to pick like Henry Cejudo. He's 85 points. He's $8,500. You just need him to score 85 points, but he has 2 extra rounds. You know what I mean? So it's 5 rounds. So you want to pick him because, dude, there's no way Cejudo wins by decision and doesn't score 85 points.
Yeah,
but you could spend 9,300 or 9,200 on Francis Ngannou, and he goes out there and gets starched, or it's a boring ass fight, and then you're screwed then too.
You get bonus points if somebody gets a knockout?
No bonus points. It's just the round by the round. But
by the round.
Yeah, so you
want the first round.
Yeah, like wrestlers are the best. That's because they're just gonna go for takedowns. You know what I mean? And every time they get a takedown or a knockdown, it's like 5 points. So somebody who's a really good wrestler, like who's a good wrestler? Okay, when Kobe Covington fought, who did he take down a bunch of times? Oh, when he took down Dos Anjos like 16 times, dude, he scored like 180 points or something. And he still won by decision. You know, like the best thing you want is to go like just takedowns, and then ground and pound, takedown, and then get it like a submission or a win in the late 3rd round. You know what I'm saying?
Maximize your points and get bonus.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm ready, guys. I'm ready for this. I'm ready, man.
I'm fired up. I'm glad I have something to look forward to this weekend.
Yeah, me too, dude. Let's just cross our fingers that fucking none of these fights, dude. There might be couple of these fights might fall through. You know what I mean? Because somebody
might wait.
What's up?
Well, they got so many good ones, though. Even if they did lose the fight, it wouldn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, as long as we don't lose any of the main ones that we want to see.
Yeah, dude, we don't want that. And then, dude, I wonder what happens if everybody tests. Okay, if they test everybody gets like cleared, and then 2 days, like on Monday, one of the people that were at the fight get the coronavirus. What happens? For the
we don't see a UFC fight for 6 months.
Yeah, we don't see it. You know what I'm saying? That's like the physicians, all the ringside physicians are like, this is a terrible idea. How are you guys going to be able? You guys have to keep that thing tight. And then I guess they're doing the antibody test, the blood test, and the nasal cavity test.
Yeah.
Nice. And the corners have to stay. The corners have to stay together in the one room. And each fighter has their own place to warm up and train.
Okay.
It's not just one big room. So we'll see how it goes, dude. It's gonna be.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I just hope it goes smooth. I think a lot of places in the desert are hoping it goes really smooth. They're opening up. See that, Kyle?
No.
South Point's letting you do drive-up deposits.
Wow.
Drive up, deposit money. They give you your account. We said you could probably bet online or whatever. Yeah. A little further away from the casino, or maybe you could do them there when you're in the casino. When you're in the parking lot.
Yeah.
I was reading in I forgot what it was on, but it said that Vegas casinos are talking about opening, and they're going to figure out with the safety. But they said no nightclubs and no summer pool party.
Yeah, you called that. You called no nightclubs, no, and that hurts for you because that's your money.
Yeah,
right?
not till next year, dude. So they said no, and they said they're going to open up the pools, but they're going to social distance each chair. Yeah. But they said no pool parties. Fuck that, dude. Imagine Vianney. Imagine Vianney when we went to when I used to DJ at rehab or we go to rehab. All those people splashing water all over each other, coughing on each other, dude.
There's AIDS in those pools. There's everything. The herpes in those pools. There's all kinds of stuff going on in those pools. Dude.
All that stuff is in the pool, dude. But imagine if that virus would have broke out during the summertime in Vegas, dude.
Fuck, that would have been bad.
Like, dude, and all those people coughing on each other and fucking spitting.
Drinking, sharing the bottles. Just going around. Everyone's passing around.
It's smoking cigarettes. Yeah. Can you get a drag of that? Here you go.
I saw casinos are thinking about getting rid of cigarettes.
Oh yeah, well, they started doing that in Atlantic City when I DJ'd at the Borgata. They started the dealers union sued the Borgata because people were like, dude, I'm getting cancer from working.
Oh shit.
So you'd have to, and that's Atlantic City. There's a bunch of fucking wops and guineas. All they do is fucking smoke, dude. So then all they do is smoke. So then,
you fit right in.
What's up?
You fit right in.
I fit right in, exactly. I'd sit around and be like, hey, these guys, I'm just like these guys, but I'm a spick. Dude, but they'd make you, you could only smoke on the carpet in a certain area. If you put like a half of your foot onto the off the carpet, they'd come and tap you on the shoulder and get on the carpet because the union was watching everybody. You know what I mean?
Have either of you ever seen the smoke room at Commerce Casino?
At where?
The Commerce Casino smoke room area.
No.
So it's like if you want to gamble and smoke, there's just one area. It's kind of outside-ish, but dude, it's horrible. It's like ventilation's horrible. You know what I mean? It's just not really a. So we'll see what happens, man.
Dude, I remember one time me and Presley were going to we were going to Jamaica or something or somewhere. I forgot where we were going, dude. And you know, you remember she smokes a lot, dude. And
Yeah.
we were in Chicago. We had to lay out from Chicago or something, a jump from Chicago to straight to the Bahamas. I forgot what it was. But I looked over and there was a smoking room inside the airport, dude, and it was just smoke in there, dude. And then just degenerates in there, dude. It was all full of smoke, and she's all, you want to go have a smoke? I go, I'm not going in there. And she's all, I'm going to go have a smoke. I need one now. And she went in there, and she like went in there for like 1 second, took a puff, and goes, I can't be in there. It's fucking, dude, it stunk. And people are in there just smoking away.
They need their fix, dude. Just like we need our fix weekend Saturday, man.
Yeah, dude. No shit, dude. Dude, I wonder what do you think you think it's gonna sell high? People are gonna buy it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, are they giving a deal or anything, or the price is regular price?
No, just regular price. Dan, no discounts here. Dan's got to make money back.
Dude, he's so sweet.
Yeah.
Man. I'm telling you, he's been growing on me year after year, dude. Every year, I just think he's sweeter.
Oh, this shit. Let me see here. I'll tell you how much.
$79 probably, right?
Let's see right now. Order $249. I think they'll give you some deal if you order it and then get ESPN Plus. They'll give you ESPN Plus for the year or something. It's
I think they do that.
Let's see here. How much is it, motherfuckers? Jesus. Hold on.
You watching it at home, Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, there ain't nothing else to do.
Yeah, no, I didn't. You know, now it's getting a little, so I don't know. Have a couple buddies.
I'm just stay home with the family.
Yeah.
I'll be watching.
Let me see. I'm just curious to see how much if they're gonna price gouge it. Oh,
I think it'd be $79.
Yeah, it's the pay-per-view price for two. It's $64.99 for current subscribers, and for new subscribers, you get $249 and ESPN Plus annual subscription, $85.
Nice,
pretty good deal.
So you get ESPN Plus for the year, and then you get it $85.
I might contact a buddy, see if he can let me borrow a stick this weekend.
Sign up.
Yeah.
Hit your boy Tony Ramirez up. He'll get you dialed in.
For sure. All right, boys. Good stuff.
All right,
man.
Thanks for coming on, guys. It's a good time. Good luck this weekend.
For sure. I'll talk to you guys.
All right.
Later, man.
Later.